And as they come out of turn number 4, 4 wide, here for your Knoxville ASCA Super Late Model Nationals. And we are getting set to go. Green flag racing, 50 laps for the first stage. Green flag in the air, we are racing!
Green flag, green flag.
And quickly, Collin Murphy takes out to the front, and he's got Daniel Adam right behind him. Those two know each other very well. They are pretty close friends, and they're going to race each other like they know each other. Meanwhile, back behind them there, you got Bo Krebs and the 54 of Gunnar Harris fighting over the third spot. Gunnar Harris has fallen back one position. A few guys touch the wall down the backstretch, but they keep it going straight. Meanwhile, Cameron Cormier sitting in that fifth spot fairly comfortably. Now we're looking back towards the field. We have Jacob Fields and Davin Cardwell. They have moved up from about halfway up into 7th and 6th. Davin Cardwell, one of the pro drivers, he's getting his chance to try and make $120 here on the feature win tonight. Top 3 get the payout, and this is looking like a fairly smooth race so far. Looking back through the field here as we try to see where everyone's at. But still up at the front, it is not changed so far. Collin Murphy holds the lead. Daniel Adam in the 75 sits in second. Third is the 168 of Bo Krebs. Again, though, Gunnar Harris trying to maybe make a move on Bo Krebs in the 168 car. Gunnar Harris taking to the inside, looking to try and maybe make a slider line here. So Gunnar Harris to the outside again. Bo Krebs looking to try and maybe make a slide job into 1 and 2. Doesn't get it done. And Gunnar Harris will take over the third position. So Gunnar Harris back up to third. Daniel Adam now on the back bumper of Collin the Kid Murphy. He won last night's feature. So Collin's going to try to win both the prelim night and the big show here. However, it is 100 laps split into 2 races. Collin Murphy in the 9 car doing the best job he can to try and keep Adam behind him. And so you really got to think, the track is going to get a little bit slicker as the race goes on. So as the track starts to slick off, you're going to have a lot different... and something has gone wrong on my end, but it has come right back. But as we look here, Collin Murphy able to get away from Daniel Adam again. Top 3 has not changed since. As we look back, Gavin Cardwell has started to move up through the field there. Tried to take that inside lane, maybe get a slide job on Bo Krebs. Was not close enough. Behind him, though, is the 007 of Jacob Fields. And not far behind him is the 06 of Ryland Gray. We look back up to the front here. Gunnar Harris has started to pull a gap on Bo Krebs. Bo Krebs definitely in trouble here. 3-car battle for the 4th spot. As you can see, Jacob Fields trying to take that inside lane away from Davin Cardwell, but Cardwell with a great slide job on Bo Krebs. He's going to move up another spot. Bo Krebs gets stuck on the outside. Ryland Gray takes a little bit of a line to that outside to try and maybe get a move done. And Ryland Gray to the outside of Bo Krebs. Bo Krebs is starting to fall back a little bit. And so a good move from Jacob Fields there in the 007 to get that outside lane away from Bo Krebs, which is really where the fast line is. It's kind of a slide job heavy track at the moment. And you can see behind him there, Ryland Gray in the 06 has tried to make a move on Bo Krebs. Bo Krebs and Ryland Gray looking to try and kick each other up to 6th position, but Ryland Gray takes over the 6th spot. And now Jacob Fields is trying to get something done on Davin Cardwell. Davin's going to be a tough nut to crack, though. As you can see, Rylan Gray throws the huge slider into turn 1, but Gavin Gray cuts down back to the inside. Side by side down the backstretch, Davin Cardwell and Jacob Fields fighting for position. Fields gets the inside again. He's going to make another move. Slide job inside. Davin Cardwell now cutting back again. This is going to be a little bit of a slog, and caution is going to come out. So whoever had the position between them, I believe that could be Steinsdorfer that brought the caution out. Some pretty hefty damage on that car. Not sure, however, what caused the yellow. And we see Collin Murphy, Daniel Adam doubled up down into turn 3 and turn 4. They're going to get the green light this time by 17 laps down in the 100-lap, 50-lap segment here, and green flag is out. Collin Murphy, again with a good jump on Daniel Adam, but immediately Gunnar Harris takes that inside lane and will take second place off the restart.
Here comes Cardwell on the bottom of the racetrack, bringing Fields along with him.
And Gunnar Harris still sitting on the high side. Those top 5 are right on top of each other. You can see Rylan Gray trying to get involved as well. Daniel Adams starting to fall back. Davin Cardwell in the 70 car, trying everything that he can to get up to the lead here, but it seems like Collin Murphy still has control of the race right now.
Gunnar Harris ripping the top, following in the tracks of Collin Murphy, seeing what he can learn here in this first little segment.
Right now,
here he comes to the bottom.
And we can see a big grouping there for, I believe, 4th position at the moment.
Oh, yellow. Car around in the back, Corey Sibley.
The 999 car.
Like he just checked up for the car in front of him and got turned.
The 20 car got put into the wall, and then the 5 car kind of slowed up, and then the car behind him didn't hit the brakes on him, so he just kind of innocent bystander there of that situation. Collin Murphy's still your leader, though. As we can see the track flick off.
20 down and 80 to go here from the sprint car capital of the world.
So Collin Murphy bringing him back around. Gunnar Harris to the outside. Daniel Adam again to the outside. Hopefully he can get a better jump on the restart here than he did last race, as Collin Murphy is on the gas again.
Green.
Again, a good jump from Collin Murphy. He's been doing pretty good on the restarts.
3 wide in the back. Here comes Kevin Parker on the bottom.
Oh my goodness. Daniel Adam looked like he got a little bit screwed up. He might not have thought Daniel Cardwell was going to keep going, but he kind of did keep going, and now he's got to work his way through a huge field of cars. Meanwhile, back up at the front here, we can see
Rylan Gray, big slider.
Rylan Gray, yeah, big slide job there.
All right, man, caution is out.
Yellow.
Caution comes out.
Oh, upside down, Cameron Cormier.
Unfortunately, I didn't catch him flipping, so. See what happened here. It looks like he might have gotten into the wall there. Oh!
Just spun and it climbed the wall on him.
The 92 actually got into Daniel Adam there, and then and sort of accordioned up the racetrack from there.
Unfortunate for Cameron. Complete bystander in that incident.
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the more consistent drivers over the last couple of days. Just hasn't been able to get get everything down pat and get the win, especially against guys like Gunnar Harris and Collin Murphy.
Collin Murphy has led all 22 laps of this thing so far.
So we'll see where we can, how many laps we can get done here.
As you see the cushion, it's trying to start to form here around the Knoxville Raceway.
As the track starts to slick off, they're going to start using that cushion a little bit more until the whole track surface in the corners is completely slicked off. So it's going to be an interesting one.
I'd say after 22 laps, we're a good 3/4 of the way up the speedway. Probably even 7/8, maybe.
You and your fractions.
Here in the top 6 or 7.
Collin Murphy is going to take him back green. And hopefully Daniel Adams, starting on the inside, is going to have a little bit better time of it. Green flag back out. Gunnar Harris maybe trying to get a little bit of a jump on Collin Murphy.
Slider coming up. He's got him.
3 wide for the lead as Collin Murphy splits the middle.
Murphy not going to give up the lead that easily. Here comes Cardwell to second. Harris turns it back to the bottom of the racetrack. You've got company.
And a pro racing against a lot of really good drivers. Just because you're labeled a pro doesn't mean that you're going to be the best out there. And right now, there are a lot of good drivers that are really itching to get that win and get the payout afterwards. A little bit of contact there, but they keep it together. Harris getting stuck on that outside lane. You really don't want to be there right now. Ryland Gray getting by him, and Gunnar Harris loses a few spots, and another caution comes out.
Aaron Rakowski around in turn 1.
Getting the replay there. Looks like he got a little bit of contact with the Revs, and then just some minor contact with the 20 car center around. Unfortunate.
And he doesn't appear to be too happy with the 20. Calm down, calm down.
Well, we had a pretty good run at the start, and then a few cautions have really kind of slowed this race down. So hopefully we can get some green flag racing back out, or else this might be a little long. And we're getting ready to go here. Collin Murphy, still your leader, and has a few challenges from behind him there. Gunnar Harris is going to try to stick something.
Gunnar Harris, great restart. Harris tries to slide Cardwell, not going to happen.
They're going to be side by side going into turn 3 though, and going to give an
slider
easy
coming
slider
up. Oh, he's
Gunnar
got him.
Harris.
Ooh, contact back there.
The leaders are definitely not giving each other much space between each other. Gavin Cardwell,
coming up.
Field's trying to make him something happen there. But again, all this battling is going to allow Collin Murphy to just start pulling away. He's been pretty consistent up at the front there, and all the battling that's happening behind him for some of the higher spots has definitely been a troublesome endeavor for some of these guys.
Here comes Cardwell again on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got him.
Cardwell back to the inside, but then Jacob Fields barely sticking it in there. There's barely a human hair's width between him and the 70 car when they went by. So a big battle between the 007 and the 70. Meanwhile, Ryland Gray's just trying to fit in wherever he can right now. We're back up at the front. Gunnar Harris has started to catch back to the 9 car. Front to back, Collin Murphy and Gunnar Harris are right there, 1 and 2.
Contact between Cardwell and Fields.
Looks like they kept it together at least. Oh, Ryland Gray getting into Fields! And they barely kept it together. Fields is starting to lose it a little bit.
Oh, hang on, Colton Zimmer! What a save!
What a lap that was! What a just a coin
Holy
effect
moly!
that was. The fact that they all kept it together. That
some of the best driving I've ever seen on here.
Some of the best avoiding a wreck I've ever seen on iRacing so far.
Wow!
My goodness. They are definitely driving their tails off right now.
What a show!
And right now, again, the battle is between Ryland Gray and Jacob Fields. Daniel Adam going to take that inside lane away from Ryland Gray down the backstretch. This is for the 4th position, 1 spot out of the money.
Big slider!
Oh!
Up and
Daniel
over!
Adam gets turned, and caution comes out. That is unfortunate.
Oh my gosh.
Rylan Gray has been a little bit aggressive, and I think that bit him in the rear a little bit too hard.
Rylan apologizing over the radio.
And he obviously knows that he was the one at fault for that one. But you know, the guys are racing really hard. It's only the first half of the race. They really need to figure out how to keep themselves together. And
Daniel has to go to the pits.
Yeah,
Tough break.
And a quite unfortunate. Another thing quite unfortunate that I failed to mention is Gavin Eddy, who has been one of the more consistent drivers as well over the week, has not showed up for this race. So
Very, very big, tough break there.
that is a definite. And then Luke Rakowski also, he has been having some issues on his end. So obviously,
And it's a tough break for Luke too, because Luke, he could have been a top 10 car tonight, I think.
It would have been questionable if he would have been able to get to the money spots, but definitely would have been a good driver to see race here. So
Gavin Eddy, after the first couple nights, you know, he was possibly rumored to be a winner, maybe.
if he would have won the first two nights, I bet if he would have won one of the first two nights, he might have been back here. He might not have. I don't know. But I bet he enjoyed at least some of the time that he was given, at least with this race, as we're getting close to 10 to go.
Before our fuel stop. And it'll give the drivers a chance to get up, stretch their legs, and maybe get a cool drink of Coca-Cola or something.
We are not sponsored by Coca-Cola. That is
Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Knoxville Raceway.
definitely disgusting.
It is, but we gotta say it.
At least Mellow Yellow is nice.
It is. Sprite is good as well.
To be fair, I wish we could have gotten a Casey sponsorship for this, but I guess we're not that big.
Yeah, I guess not.
As we get back going again, Collin Murphy in the 9 car, taking us back to green. Gunnar Harris not getting a good jump on that start, but hopefully he can stay
Here comes
in
Cardwell!
front of Cardwell.
All right, man.
And
And
caution
yellow.
immediately comes out. Looks like Lawson in the 55 might have been the one involved there. Cut back to the restart there to see what possibly happened there, and Lawson definitely was the one involved. Cormier as well. Just 3 guys fighting for the same inch of space on the racetrack. Didn't get to there, and you know, obviously
Yeah,
it never works out very well.
Off the restart, yikes. They would have been fine if Cormier didn't get turned at the end.
Like I said, it's just 3 cars fighting for the same piece of track, so never works out very well. And to be fair, when the racing has been actual racing, it's been some pretty decent. It's been some pretty decent racing. Even with that whole mess that happened up at the front for 3rd. So right now,
That was amazing.
Collin Murphy leading, Gunnar Harris in 2nd, Davin Cardwell in 3rd, Rylan Gray sitting in 4th, Jacob Fields 5th, Corey Sibley in 6th, 7th is Colton Zimmer, 8th is Logan Johnson in the 92, Joey Neese in the 9th spot, 10th Kevin Parker, 11th is Bo Krebs, unfortunate for him as he's been consistently decent all week, Anthony Woodhull in 12th, 13th Cormier, 14th Daniel Adam after getting damaged in that last race, in that last incident.
Single file restarts for the rest of this segment here.
Probably for the better, to just get the segment over with. Obviously, Rakowski, Steinsdorfer, and Lawson, 15th to 17th. We had 18 cars start the race tonight, including you, and now you're up here in the booth.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for us on the Casey's 04.
Green flag back in the air, Collin Murphy, good jump, but Gunnar Harris right on his back bumper going into the turn. Meanwhile, behind him there, you can see this 06 of Ryland Gray trying to take the inside away from Davin Cardwell. Doesn't get that slide job done. Behind him, you can see Colton Zimmer in the 09. Sitting behind the 999 of Corey Sibley. Sibley was trying to make a move on Jacob Fields, didn't get that one done. Track's starting to get a little bit slick on the bottom, so it's getting a little bit harder for drivers to really run that inside line, and soon eventually the top side is going to just get completely blown off.
Caution is out.
Is out again. I believe it might have been Steinsdorf and possibly Krebs. Oh, I did not see that actually.
Yeah.
It seems that Bo Krebs in the 17, Bo Krebs kind of got loose a little bit on the high side. The 17 of Kevin Parker got together, turned around, and then Anthony Woodhull came flying in there. So an interesting little incident there. So I guess as we get within 10 to go, Collin Murphy has the lead. What are your thoughts on whether or not the track is going to be a factor in who takes home the win tonight? Will Collin Murphy be able to get the adjustments made, or will someone else be able to take advantage of the little break there in between?
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Cause I do remember last year, I believe Gunnar Harris was pretty dominant the first half of the race, and then just kind of fell off. Obviously, he had that incident where he like rolled 3 times.
He's been very consistent all week. You know, I think he only started 3rd in this race, and he's managed to stay up here still.
Hasn't had any real big mistakes so far. Got by
Except for the whole melee for 3rd, but...
Well, got by Daniel Adam pretty cleanly, and then...
Then again, that was like 6 dudes.
Yeah, it wasn't really his fault. He's been pretty clean all night. Even racing against Bo Krebs, who that first night he had a little bit of a scuffle with. But, you know, both of those guys came out of that fairly clean. So, as we get ready to go here, Collin Murphy taking us back to green. He has been consistently the leader all night. Has led every lap so far. Defending the low line from any sort of slide job from Gunnar Harris. As you can see, they're straight up and down.
Running the Brian Brown slider line in turn 3. Here comes Davin Cardwell on the bottom.
Davin Cardwell doing a very good job of trying to stay with these 3. Stay with these 2 in front of him. Meanwhile, behind him, you got a battle for the 4th spot between the 06 of Ryland Gray and the 007 of Jacob Fields. Fields is going to be able to get the advantage out of turn 3, but not going to be able to stay ahead of him. It looks like he's going to be able to stay ahead of him down the front stretch.
Here comes Ryland Gray on the bottom.
Yep, Ryland Gray back to the inside, but Jacob Fields is going to cross that one over. Jacob Fields has been a very good defender. Hasn't really been the best trying to get by other cars, but definitely has been good at defending his position. Has kept him up here at the front for quite some time. Another thing to note, Daniel Adam has moved back up into the top 10. He is currently sitting in the 8th position. Hopefully going to be able to move
Oh, Cardwell on the wall!
Cardwell. Looks like it didn't hurt
Cardwell
him that
grabbed
much.
the wall.
Looks like it didn't hurt him that much. He only lost 2 positions, but definitely going to affect his chances possibly for the next 50-lap stint. As you can see, the 2 drivers that have been constant up at the front here have been Collin Murphy and Gunnar Harris. Harris has not been able to best Murphy, and Murphy has just been clean throughout. And it bodes well that both of your prelim night winners have been just this consistent over the entirety of this first 50-lap stint. Hopefully we can actually see one of them take both a $20 feature win from one of the prelims and then the big money of $120 tonight.
Been a great show between the whole top 5, really.
5 laps to go this time by for Collin Murphy in this first half.
Daniel Adam already back up to 6th place after flipping over.
He's been cutting through the field here. Was able to get to the pit lane and come back onto the racetrack. So Daniel Adam back up to 6th position. Hopefully Ryland Gray doesn't scoop him another time.
54 laps to go here at Knoxville. Murphy's led the whole thing.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And yellow.
Caution comes out.
2 cars around in turns 1 and 2. Aaron Rakowski and Steven Steinsdorfer.
Might have started Steinsdorfer. Just a little bit of contact between Rakowski and the 17 of Parker, and then Steinsdorfer just kind of comes in, isn't able to stop. That's one thing about dirt that you got to understand, is that trying to stop on a dirt track to avoid somebody, not the easiest thing in the world. Most of the time, you're just better off spinning the car around, because that's just going to be what the car does anyways. So we're going to have a 3-lap shootout to the halfway break, and hopefully Collin Murphy is able to bring that car home after the full 100. Has there ever been an actual Knoxville Nationals, like in the real thing? Has there actually been a Knoxville Nationals that has gone with one driver leading the entire thing?
Yes. It's happened a couple times. I think Billy Moyer did it in 2010. Trying to think of who else did it.
I think I remember 2014 almost was, I believe, a 100-lap, one guy leading the whole thing.
No, Berghofer led the first 60, then Bloomquist led like the last 40 until he broke.
Until the car decided it wanted to let go on him at the very end of the race.
But I think Moyer led every lap in 2010.
Well,
and then Mike Marlar. No, not Mike Marlar.
Maybe don't hear very often anymore.
Even though he just won it last year.
Eh.
Back to green.
Back to green flag racing. Collin Murphy.
Whoa, in the back!
Hoping to get
good save from Adam and Sibley.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of scuffling there at the back, but we're closing in on the last few laps of this 50-lap stint. Drivers have been a little bit aggressive, a little bit too aggressive, I would think, for the first half of this race. As you can see, Jacob Fields trying to get by Gunnar Harris, as that could potentially be your race for second place.
He'd be on the front row of the double foul restart, pretty much.
I'd be surprised if anyone... To be fair, do you want to start second or do you want to start third going into the next segment?
That's a good point.
Because it seems like if I was Gunnar Harris, I'd let Fields go, and then I could start on the inside of the next restart. But we're going to see whether or not Fields and Harris will fight it out for the finish here, as Collin Murphy continues to lead this race. And Collin Murphy will take the first 50 laps for himself.
As the caution will come out for the fuel stop, Justin Clark flag in hand. And there it is, caution is out. We're gonna... Should we talk to Collin and see what's going on?
If you would like to bring him in here, and if he's willing to come in, let's see if we can get a little bit of an interview with the kid about that first 50. Alright, so Collin, you led the first 50 laps of the 100 laps tonight. Seemed to be pretty consistent all throughout. Gunnar Harris seemed to maybe have your number a few times there, but you were able to fight back. Anything that you might need to change going forward, or do you think the car will be good for this next 50?
I don't think I'm going to change anything. If anything, the car might get better as we go on.
Yeah, it seemed like as the track started to slick off, maybe if you guys were getting a little bit too aggressive. But again, you and Gunnar sort of raced each other with a little bit of respect. Both of you were the prelim night winners, so you guys have at least a little bit of experience up at the front here. So do you think you might have to? Are you expecting any sort of challenges from Gunner or possibly Fields, possibly even the 70 of Cardwell, because they've also been pretty quick, but they just haven't been able to get by Harris.
Yeah, I feel like I can't count out anyone in the top 10, really. They're all pretty dang fast, so I just think I gotta be smooth and consistent and stay up front and stay out of trouble.
So the initial start there, you had your buddy Daniel Adam on your outside, then eventually Daniel ended up falling back a little bit, ended up getting a little bit of eventually ended up a little bit screwed over, you could say, but he's back up to fifth, so do you think he could possibly be a threat to challenge you for the win as well?
Yeah, he's definitely quite a bit. He's on the same side as me, so me and him will be up there battling hopefully at the end.
So, hopefully we get to see a good battle, and hopefully you could possibly lead every lap, but you can't count anything out, so just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully you'll be the winner at the end of this one.
That's the goal.
All right. Thank you.
Who's it going to be?
As we head back down the back stretch this time by, all the cars are ready to go here again for the second 50-lap segment.
Going to be looking, green
on
flag
the
wave.
gas. We are back to racing. And a good restart from Murphy. As again, we'll see Collin Murphy and Gunnar Harris still 1-2, but Gunnar Harris having a hard fight with Jacob Fields to keep that second spot. Murphy starting to pull out of the gap there. Oh, Daniel Adam getting a little bit overzealous here in the first of the second 50-lap segments here on lap number 52. Started to fall off again, but now you could probably think Gunnar Harris might have been waiting in the
Lost it on the top and the back. He's got a good run coming here. Oh, and he lost it. He scrubbed the wall.
Ryland Gray now up to third position as he gets a good slide job on Jacob Fields, but Fields is coming back to the inside. Jacob Fields sliding up the racetrack. He has the third spot back again, but now Ryland Gray down the front stretch. He's going to lead Jacob Fields that lap, and he will be considered third place if a caution were to come out.
Fields
Jacob
coming up again. Here we go. Big slider.
A good slide job from Fields, but again, this is where Ryland Gray had the exit speed, but doesn't seem to have it this time by, as Jacob Fields will lead him over that one lap. High side starting to get a little bit treacherous here as Ryland Gray and Jacob Fields still having a great fight between each other.
Here comes Harris. Your race is for the lead.
The race for the lead, though. Harris and
at
Murphy
the line.
side by side.
Murphy. Big slider. He got it.
Slider from Gunnar Harris doesn't get it done yet because Murphy's back to the inside.
Oh,
some contact. Not sure if that was just incidental contact, but I don't think Gunnar Harris is going to be too happy with it. He's probably going to be trying to get up to that lead again. Ryland Gray still battling with Jacob Fields, and this has been a great battle for the lead here in the first 10 of the second half.
Fields big slider once more.
Fields
see what Gray does.
Off that inside line from Ryland Gray. He's doing a good job of defending the position. Now Jacob
big
Fields
slider coming up from Ryland.
Inside, Ryland Gray to the inside. Now we're starting to see drivers experiment trying to run that bottom line. Doesn't seem to get the good run off the corner like he needed to.
As Harris falls into the clutches of Jacob Fields now.
You can see also Gavin Cardwell has started to fall off a little bit. He was one of those guys who was fighting for the lead potentially, but has just kind of had some trouble finding where the line is right now. Right now, Collin Murphy, Gunnar Harris, and Jacob Fields, three guys that we've seen constantly here in the ASCA Hammer Down. I believe at least Gunnar Harris and Jacob Fields are regulars in the UMP Modified Series. I know Gunnar Harris was a regular in the Late Model Series.
Big hit to the wall from Gavin Cardwell.
Look back, Ryland Gray has started to fall off the pace a little bit. Cardwell is just kind of running a big slider line Doesn't seem to be
Cushion
able
has
to,
formed around the Marion County Fairgrounds, though, I can tell you that.
doesn't really have the line at this point, and now Gavin Cardwell is looking like he's going to lose another spot to Colton Zimmer.
Think he loaded in the wrong setup, maybe?
Possibly wasn't expecting the track to be as slick as it was, although, you know, he had a little bit of time to dial in the setup. Potentially he's waiting for the track to kind of slick off a little more on the top side. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead right now between Gunnar Harris and Collin Murphy. Murphy fighting for the win. And he's going to get that run off the outside lane. He's diving low and cutting back up high.
Look at how bumpy the track has been getting over the past couple of laps here.
And the top side is going to be getting a lot more treacherous, and you really have to be on your toes to really hit your marks. Gunnar Harris still
Murphy hits the cushion.
Yep, still trying to take that inside lane away. Aaron Rakoski pulls into the pits. Could be done for tonight. Both Rakoski is not going to be able to finish anything of tonight's feature. So unfortunate for that crew in its entirety. However,
Yeah, they were looking pretty consistent over the qualifying nights.
Still looking over this. You can see Collin Murphy is still holding that good line on the outside. Jacob Fields might be trying to bide himself some time, staying right behind Gunnar Harris and Collin Murphy.
Gonna have some slow cars coming up here.
Slower traffic going to be involved as well. We haven't seen that in the first half of the race due to just the sheer amount of cautions that was coming up. And the three leaders have sort of settled into a rhythm here as they are all within, you know, about a second of each other. Gavin Cardwell, however, has fallen back to 4.6 seconds behind the leaders.
Gunnar hit the berm super hard.
Gunnar trying that slider line again, but might have opened the door to Jacob Fields. Fields down to the inside. Steinsdorfer pulling off the racetrack. That kind of scared me a little bit. I didn't know he was on the berm. Steinsdorfer coming into the pits this time by. It looks like his night will be over. Meanwhile, Jacob Fields and Gunnar Harris are fighting over the spot right now. Jacob Fields doesn't get the run off the backstretch, and now three wide for the lead!
3 wide!
Collin Murphy still holding that outside lane. He's got the run off the corner, and now Gunnar Harris is going to try to slide him.
Big slider coming up.
Collin
Murphy on the cushion.
Line, but now they're side by side down the backstretch.
Oh, doctor! How about this?
And Collin Murphy, however, still
Gunnar!
a little bit of contact for Gunnar Harris and Jacob Fields. Collin Murphy has just been given some lifeblood here.
God.
He's just held his own.
30 laps to go, 70 down, 30 to go for Collin Murphy.
We're getting close to a normal feature length distance right now.
Oh, Gunnar grabbed the
Harris
wall.
is starting to drive a little bit more erratically than he probably normally has, so we might be seeing him driving a little bit more angry. A little bit of contact here, a little bit of contact there, a bit of a screw job possibly from Jacob Fields. Nothing really, no one has done anything wrong in my opinion, but he's just been
Gunnar!
Oh, he's just been a lot of inconsistent driving.
Yellow
Caution is out. Gavin Cardwell.
Yellow is out. Cardwell. Heavy damage to the 70.
Look back and see what could have happened there. He had fallen all the way back to 8th position. And just a little bit of contact from Daniel Adam there. Didn't do too
Adam
much.
apologizing over the radio.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact from Daniel Adam there, sent him around. Didn't really do a whole lot to him. But
wow. I think we need to slow this one down for a bit.
that was a crazy bit of racing between the leaders right there.
I just want to say there's been a little bit of a difference to the track now, because earlier the mud that was splattering on the cars, it's now more dusty and not really clods of mud on the cars now. It's just dust, really.
The track has started to dry out. The bottom lines have pretty much gone away, and they're running that high side. Eventually, once that top side goes, eventually, once that top side goes, then we're going to have a pretty decent run to the finish here.
So Cardwell will go to the back if he does take the faster pair indeed. There it is.
So the only two drivers that have actually gone out of the race so far have been Steinsdorfer and Rakowski.
And myself.
I'm not counting you because you've been out like the first 10.
Basically, I got a little bit held up on the initial start there, and I just didn't want to be.
Up on the initial start there.
I just didn't want to be a demon for the leaders later. So
Rolling
probably a good idea.
Rolling Chicane should be your nickname.
Well, I stay out of the way. That's my thing. I stay out of the way.
Looks like they're going to go single file for the restart here.
What was that?
The restart is going to be single file. So I guess for the rest of the time besides
Yeah, that'd be
the
okay.
initial start.
All right, pace truck will pull in this time by Collin Murphy, leads him down.
And on the gas, we are back to green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Definitely a good jump by Murphy there. As we can see, Ryland Gray just running the rim there. Another driver who has actually been pretty good in the second half here has been Colton Zimmer. Surprised to see him up here at the front of the field here. Meanwhile, back up for the fight for second is Jacob Fields and Gunnar Harris. Fields running that low line and drifting back up high. Seems to be where the fast line is as Jacob Fields moves up to second. Gunnar Harris has started to fall off the pace a little bit. And now Colton Zimmer sets his sights on the third spot. Colton Zimmer has kind of been a sort of a sleeper hit right now.
Here comes Adam up to fifth.
He's been sitting up in the mid pack between about 5th and 10th. Hasn't really done a whole lot, but now at the end of this one, he has started to come alive.
That's a lot. That's how a lot of late model nationals goes. You know, guy will start in the back, and then he comes slowly to the front, and nobody notices him, and then he's right there at the end.
And it seems to me like it's been a good mix of those guys who were in the earlier B main. And then the mix of the guys who have been here for the first two prelim nights. Obviously, no one has seen the B main, but Jacob Fields is one of those drivers who was a part of that B main, and now he's up to second.
Colton Zimmer going for third now.
Battle for third place. It seems like Colton Zimmer is doing everything that he can to try and get that inside lane to work. Doesn't seem to be working as well as he probably needs it to get the run, and you can see Daniel Adam on the very bottom of the racetrack. Seems like that inside lane has started to come in.
Had a couple of guys trying that out, Daniel and Corey Sibley.
Meanwhile, it seems like the leaders, Collin Murphy and Jacob Fields, have been doing a very good job of holding that top side, and we are within 20 to go next time.
Remember how close Collin was to winning this race last year. He was just basically a lap away from winning this thing.
He was a lap away before it was stolen away from him by someone who did not run the first two nights of this race. This has probably been a much better showing than last year's Late Model Nationals was, for sure.
Been a very fun one so far, anyway.
Even with the B main drivers, they've been showing a pretty good run. Collin Murphy
As
still holding
Corey takes, or Colton, I'm sorry, Colton takes second. Or third, excuse me.
Colton Zimmer has moved his way up into the third spot. Meanwhile, Daniel Adams
Oh,
still
Colin
running
made a
that
mistake,
bottom
I think.
side. Ryland Gray.
Your race is for the lead. Here we go.
Oh, he's leaning on him. He's leaning on him, but he's not going to be able to get anything done off of it. If Colin did make a mistake, it seems like he has, again, been able to cheat it out.
He's going to try and block the slider here.
Jacob Fields is trying everything that he can. That is everything except for wrecking Collin Murphy. I don't think he wants to race and win by wrecking someone out, and I wouldn't want to do that either.
Gunnar Harris continues to fall back. I think this line has shifted to the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like that bottom side. You can see
Your race is for the lead.
You can see Daniel Adam has had a very good run on that bottom side, but still the leaders have pulled away from the rest of the field. They're about 6 seconds ahead of the rest of the field right now. Colton Zimmer has started to move towards the inside lane. You can see Corey Sibley has tried to move inside of Daniel Adam. As you can see, Daniel Adam getting a little bit of contact with Gunnar Harris. Harris has started to fall off a little bit.
Contact for the lead. This is getting good here.
Looking back to the lead, it just seems like you keep getting excited
Yellow.
here, and a caution has come out.
And Gunnar Harris is around. Oh!
To be fair, it's not the first time he would have been on his lid and still gotten up in the lead.
That's true, but I don't know if it's going to happen this time. That's a bummer for Gunnar.
I don't know if that was Gunnar's fault or if that was Corey Sibley's fault.
I think that's just a racing deal, really.
And, you know, he gets hit by the 17. I don't know what Parker was doing there. That's as much of an arcer break as you probably could see on iRacing.
Thanks for coming, Gunnar. We appreciate it.
So unfortunate for Gunnar Harris right there. He was running a great race, and then he just started falling back. It just didn't seem like he was able to recover. So as we get everything set for the final few laps of the race, we have 15 laps to go. This will be like a hobby stock feature length race.
Pretty much. This is...
So we hit about a hobby stock feature, and then once we hit 12 to go, that'll be a 4-cylinder feature. And then we go into heat race length. So single file restart. Collin Murphy, Jacob Fields, and Colton Zimmer are all your top 3. Corey Sibley has been pretty good in these last few laps. And again, you can see the difference between the drivers who are really good when the track gets really slick, and then you can see the difference between the guys who, you know, were really good at the beginning and have sort of fallen off. Davin Cardwell has sort of bounced back a little bit, but he was up running for, you know, prize money earlier in the race, but now he's only sitting back in the 8th position.
See what he can do. Green flag coming back in the air now.
Flag is out. A good sit by Jacob Fields there as he's right on the back bumper of Collin Murphy.
Murphy got a heck of a restart there. Here comes Zimmer on the bottom.
And now we can really see if that bottom lane has really started to come in or not. Colton Zimmer in the 09 running that bottom lane, starting to drift back up high. Meanwhile, Collin Murphy and Jacob Fields fighting for the lead. Jacob
There we
Fields
go! Oh, big hit on the
job.
berm!
He hit the berm! And again, Collin Murphy able to defend it as best as we've seen him every single time that he has had any guy tried to take him out. This has just been a fantastic race for Collin Murphy right now. Every time someone has tried to make a move on him, he's had some way to take it back. And for a kid that's under 18 years old, he has just been doing everything right.
He's under 16. Kid can't even legally drive.
You know that he's legally driving right now, and he's showing everyone up.
What a race this has been.
Just a fantastic run from Murphy there. Jacob Fields now has fallen off the pace a little bit. I think Fields is just a little bit faster than Murphy. Collin Murphy gonna have
he didn't hit the berm this time. Nobby got him.
Murphy trying to get to the inside. Fields to the outside. Jacob Fields to the lead.
A little bit of contact there. Rubbin's racing at this point, I think.
You got a new leader. You got a new leader. Jacob Fields to the lead. Collin Murphy
And
not going to
Fields
be able
leads
to
the
lead
lap.
the whole thing. But he's still hanging in there. Collin Murphy in the 9 car, trying to do everything he can to win the money and win the prize. But Jacob Fields, like I said, I think he's just got a little bit more in the tank than Murphy has right now. Meanwhile, behind him, you can see Colton Zimmer trying everything he can to hold that inside, stay in 3rd place, and get something out of this one.
Less than 10 to go here at the Knoxville Late Model Nationals. Fields made a mistake on the cushion, and Murphy closes back in a bit.
It just seems like those two have been pretty even, but it seems like Murphy just doesn't have as much in the tank at this point. Hasn't been able to hold the same speed as Jacob Fields, and you could tell Fields was a little bit quicker with the way he was just holding on the back bumper of Collin Murphy. Now he started to pull away. Jacob Fields running
into
a
turn
bit of
3.
a slider line there.
Oh,
Murphy up
Murphy!
in the wall.
Oh no!
And he's going to let the 09 go
Oh,
through, but
hold
the 09 just kind of cuts back up,
Sibley
and unfortunately, Murphy and Colton Zimmer are going to drop out of the top 3. Sibley going to take over second, and now Jacob Fields could have the rest of this to himself. Fields
What a
in
tough
first,
break for Collin Murphy.
Sibley in second. Murphy still sitting in third, it looks like, as Gavin
The
Cardwell.
old-fashioned commentator's curse for Collin Murphy is we're coming to 4 to go now for Jacob Fields.
Gavin Cardwell is actually a lap down, it looks like, so Collin Murphy is actually still sitting in third. So Collin Murphy could still win something from this. But right now, Corey Sibley is doing a very good job. It just doesn't seem like anyone has anything for Jacob Fields at this point. Continue to watch. Jacob Fields is doing a great job holding that position. Colton Zimmer.
Colton Zimmer, he lost connection.
I was going to say Colton Zimmer fell out of my lineup. I was going to go to him because him and Collin Murphy were still right next to each other.
Two laps to go.
Jacob Fields in the 07. That car with the duct tape numbers, doing everything possible to stay up at the lead. Did everything possible to get by Collin Murphy except for trying to take him out of the race. And you know what? I think he has deserved every bit of what he is about to receive. Down the back stretch for the final time into turns 3 and 4. Lap traffic not going to be a factor. Jacob Fields will take the late model nationals victory.
Wow.
Corey Sibley
What a
takes
show.
second, and Collin Murphy at least can say he won something out of this whole week, finishing third, and a surprising fourth for Logan Johnson in the 92. Fifth being Daniel Adams, sixth is sixth is Joey Neese, seventh is Brad Lawson.
Burn it down, Jacob. Burn it down, bud. You earned it.
So Jacob Fields will be your winner here for the late model nationals, and honestly, counting out Jacob Fields in anything, even with those numbers on there, I think he's got a little bit nicer than duct tape on there.
Top three to voice chat, please. That car is still for sale, as you see on the quarter panel up there.
I don't think anyone has the money to buy that car. Don't roll it.
So.
So a great run by Jacob Fields to take the victory here. However, we're going to talk to your third place finisher in the number 9 car. You know what, Colin? I feel like we gave you the commentator's curse there at the very end. You ran a great race. Just what happened at the very end there? Take us through the last few laps.
Well, I kind of messed up the rear spoiler there. Well, it was straight, and then I got the wall in 3 and 4. It pushed as soon as I went into the corner, and then when I hit the bump in 3, it sent the car right into the fence.
Yeah, I bet if the 4 of Colton Zimmer wasn't there, you probably would have had a decent, a little bit better finish. Would have probably still ended up in second, but seemed like Jacob Fields was just a little bit quicker than you towards the end of the race. I guess your comments on that, I guess.
He ran a good race all 100 laps, so I knew he was going to be fast there. I just tried to hold him off as best as I could.
And, you know, third place, you still got something out of it. You won the prelim night. You know, I guess something to say for that. You know, you were able to take the fight to a lot of these guys. You led pretty much the entire race. So I'd still say even if you didn't win, you still had a fantastic run. So I'd say still pat yourself on the back there.
Yeah, there's nothing in my head about. Jacob's really quick and anything, so losing to him isn't something to hang your head low about.
Well, I'm glad you came out here for the last 2 nights, and hopefully we'll see you back here for another one of our ASCA races.
Yep.
Yep. Anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Apex Industries, Gas Money Sim Sports, Gas Roots, Vortex Graphics, Tech 3D Defense, everyone that helps me in real life, and Daniel.
Well, thank you for showing up tonight. Hopefully you get something a little bit better next time.
Yeah.
All right, now for your second place finisher, Corey Sibley. You kind of had a second place dropped in your lap there. I guess take us through the last few laps and just that whole second half of the race as you kind of came to your own there.
Yeah, but I'll say the beginning of that race didn't go very good for me. But now I say I was happy. I had the car set up because honestly I prefer to run the bottom anyways. So once it slicked off enough that guys couldn't just beat down the wall, I went down to the bottom and just kind of got lucky that those two guys wiped each other out. Then at the end, it was Davin's going to wreck me or Davin's going to go around me, but he wasn't going to get under me.
Well, Davin was actually a lap down, it seemed. I don't know when that actually happened, but it could have been when he ended up getting turned. But you know, you had a second place locked up after Murphy and Zimmer spun each other out. So you can say that you at least ran a consistent enough race to take home second place. First half didn't seem as eventful for you. Second half, definitely, you kind of came into your own. When did you think the bottom line started to come in?
I had started playing with it near the beginning of near the end of the first half, and it was keeping pace, but wasn't faster than anybody. But then about 10, 15 laps into the second ones when I really started being able to keep up and start getting by them. So, I mean, you just had to play with it. And then if I could get corner exit, especially in turn 2, good, I was moving along pretty well. It caught me up a little bit being stuck behind the 75 because his timing was just different than mine, so it was hard to not push the car once I was down there.
Well, a fantastic second place. You get a pretty big prize. I believe it's $60. Jay, is that correct?
Sure, $60.
So, anyone you'd like to thank for the race tonight?
I think what's on my car? Dirty Rhino Welding. That's kind of my personal hobby shop. Stoner's Body Shop. My grandpa. Tail Tag and Motorsports. My buddy Tony's probably going to be watching this. My wife, she puts up with me doing this probably more than I need to.
Well, now you can tell her you actually made some money off of it.
Right, that makes the conversation a little better. But I think that's pretty much it. Or John Darby at CFM Designs by JDM. I love this car. It's probably one of my favorite ones I've had on here. And so he made a killer wrap, and I'm happy to drive it.
Yeah, it was fantastic watching you, at least for the last few. Were you here for both prelim nights? I don't remember for sure. I know you were here for at least one of them.
I was here for the second one. I didn't get to make the first one. I was working on my buddy's real car.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were here for 2 nights of the show, and glad to see that you ended up in second place.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. And finally, your winner for tonight, 007. I guess we can call him the International Man of Mystery or something like that. Jacob Fields, you are tonight's big winner. Take us through the last few laps. How were you able to get by Collin Murphy, and what did it take to get here to this point?
I think I got lucky. I was just kind of waiting for a mistake, That top side was getting pretty rough, so luckily was able to get up to him and throw the slider, and felt pretty good after that. I saw that he got into the wall, and that gave me a little bit of a cushion, and yeah, just tried to keep it out of the wall the last few laps.
You've been actually one of the most consistent drivers here in the ASCA for quite some time, especially in the UMPs. You won how many races in a row? I can't even remember. But you've been one of the best drivers out here, at least with the fender cars. Obviously, it didn't take it. Still, it still is a lot to do 100 laps here at Knoxville, especially at the end of it. Kind of what allowed you to at least get up to that point, and especially there was an incident there in the first half. How did you guys keep it together?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was a little sketchy, honestly.
That was almost your late model nationals done right there, bud.
Oh yeah, it was close. It had me worried. But I was just kind of hoping I could get through that last 50 clean. Just tried to keep the car clean, and it seems like if you get any kind of damage with these things, man, you slow right down. But
I mean, you got to keep the car clean. You're going to sell this thing after it, aren't you?
yeah, I'm trying to keep getting low ball offers, so I think I'm gonna keep her through the fling, and then I'll try to sell it again.
Well, I mean, you got enough wins on this thing, plus you got enough big money wins on this thing. You could probably sell it for more than a World of Outlaws car would be worth at this point.
Yeah, hopefully I can get a little more out of it now.
Well, anyone would you like to thank tonight? Obviously, you got no sponsors on the car, but I guess there's probably someone you'd want to thank tonight.
Yeah, I gotta thank the guys over at D1RT. They helped me a ton. Gotta thank you guys for putting on the show, and I love going back and watching the broadcast. So, gotta thank Jay for putting on the show as well.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take too long to upload this because it's going to be almost over an hour, I think, of broadcast footage.
Yeah,
So hopefully we can see you back here for another run. Congrats on the win, and congrats on the 120 that Jay has so graciously decided to give up out of his own pocket, because I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate that.
You're crazy, man. Well,
just DM me and we'll get that taken care of, my man.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jacob, and congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
What else can we say?
That was exciting. I mean,
that has to be one of the most exciting late model races I've seen in a long time.
Maybe not the end of it. It sort of kind of petered out once Collin wasn't able to get back up anywhere. But I mean, before that, up to about 10 to go.
First 90 laps of that thing were phenomenal.
Sounds like we're talking about the NASCAR truck race at Knoxville last year. Yeah, the first 2/3 were fine, but then the last third, everyone was killing each other.
What a race!
Well, I think
that's all I can say.
Well, I think that's going to do it here for the ASCA. Hopefully, we can maybe do some more broadcasting. I'm not sure. But,
Look, that was a good race.
But Knoxville Late Model Nationals. I am Rick Witt. This is with Jay Barker, and we are here signing off for you tonight. We'll see you next time we actually get something going.